Hi, this is Carey 3-Valve, and today I'm going to give you 5 amazing reasons why you should think about purchasing a 3-valve Mustang or an 05 to 09 Mustang. Alright, so the first reason to buy an 05 to 09 Mustang is you get to hang out with a girl like this. Actually, just kidding, she actually likes me for who I am, which is surprising, I know, not the car. Okay, so the number one thing I think that 3-valves are so appealing to almost everybody and to all Mustang people is the exhaust. And on this car, I'm running the off-road X pipe into the pipes, bombs, axle back, and I'm just gonna let the noise in the next couple videos just let you know what I'm talking about. Reason number 2 that I think 3-valve Mustangs are so appealing to the public is the body style. I mean, let's be honest, this was Ford's attempt to recreate the 65 original body style, and I think they did an amazing job. If you just take a look at the body style itself, I think they did an amazing job recreating what they needed to get to that point. And they added their little touch of modern to it, and it actually turned out to be, well, it turned out to be my personal favorite body style out of all Mustangs. It still will be to this day. I know it isn't the fastest car, and I know it's never gonna be the fastest car, but in my opinion, I love my body style more than any other Mustang out there. All right, and to continue what I was talking about the body style, I just want to talk about the car design itself. I mean, really, they really got, and by my year, 07, I know maybe the 05s or 06s were a tad bit different, but in my 07, they kind of made it through some trial and error in the first 2 years. And I think a lot of things bring this car out. Basically, I love all the fenders. All the fenders look fantastic, the way they mesh them together. I think the front bumper looks amazing for stock, and I think that a lot of the components you can add, like the chin spoiler, an upgraded grille. I know they come with the regular fog lights, but I like the LED fog lights, and especially with the LED ring. Favorite thing about the car as well, but that's obviously aftermarket, so that's prior to purchasing a 3-valve. But if you look at the car itself, it just looks like a pretty mean car from the factory. I mean, it's not as mean as like now some of the days the newer ones, but let's be honest, if you're trying to ball on a budget, the 3-valve is a really nice looking car. And I know I stopped really trying to make my car fast nowadays because I really like to just invest myself into the body style. And I think it's a really good reason to hear that, because it's one of those cars where, like, even when you're younger, like 16, 17, growing up, you can kind of get your hands on one of these cars for not that much. Alright, and my number 3 reason that I talk about this car and why you should buy it is honestly the drivability. I mean, these cars, when I first got mine, it was a really good car to learn stick on. And I definitely would recommend a manual, and they're pretty easy to find nowadays, the manual, for a decent price. And I just like to say the drivability, like, it's a decent car to drive. I daily drive this car every day, and there's a few things that I've done to it, like bagging it and everything, that make it a whole lot easier for daily driving. And just kind of reiterating on that, like, I really don't know how else to explain it, because you really got to get in the car yourself to feel how it maneuvers and everything. But as far as any other Mustang goes that were prior to years before this, I think they did a really good job on stability on this car. For the first couple 100,000 miles, I think you see a pretty decent performance-wise on the suspension. I don't know how everybody else feels like that who owns one of these cars, but personally, for me, I think these cars handle just fine. And honestly, I only owned one Mustang prior to this, and being 18 years old, I handled it pretty well. Alright, so my 4th reason that I recommend purchasing this car is honestly the price. These 3-valve Mustangs nowadays are running in the mid 8,000s to 12,000s, depending on how many miles you want the car. That's definitely just including the V8s, like I said, with the 3-valve. And if you're going after that car, I really recommend it, because these cars are a decent bang for your buck for what they are. And I really like mine. I got mine for a really good price. I bought it for $11,000 with 59,000 miles on it, and I've loved every bit of the year and a half that I've owned it so far. And compared to a lot of other prices out there, I think the 3-valve does a really good job at pricing on these. So, I mean, if you're out there looking for a 5.0, if you're out there looking for a 2-valve, if you're out there looking for a 3-valve, I think the 3-valve's priced for what they are with the miles. It's really hard to find a low mileage 2-valve, it really is. And it's hard enough to find a Coyote or a 5.0 that's actually a decent price. Trust me, I've tried. But yeah, so I think the 3-valve is a really good middle for now. And I know they're gonna keep their price. If you keep them in good condition, they're gonna hold really good value. And on the other hand, I think they're gonna depreciate even more if you don't take care of it. So I think a lot of 3-valves you're gonna see are gonna kind of fall apart. You're gonna see ones with 150,000 miles on them, they're gonna be going for like 6 grand, and that's being a V8. And then you're gonna see some that are gonna go up into the 12 and the 13s with only, you know, let's say 40,000 miles on them. All right, and then my final and 5th reason that I recommend buying these types of cars, I really think the interior. Now hear me out. I know all you 3-valve guys that are watching this are going like, oh my gosh, door panel inserts, oh my gosh, plastic all over the car. You're right, and trust me, I have a door panel falling off as we speak, so I do know that. But if you look at the previous years, let's be honest, 94 to 04 was a constant interior, and it was dark most of the time, brown, and it was really almost falling apart all the time, just like this is. But let's be honest, it was a pretty good upgraded interior. If you take a look at the steering wheel, pretty decent design. And if you look at all the pieces that they really did on this car, you can also take a look at just kind of a stellar design all around the board. I mean, upgraded in speakers and everything. Now, granted, this is a premium, so it's probably a little bit nicer than just a base model. But to be honest with you, I couldn't even tell you specifically what's the difference. I just know that the interior-wise, I'd say seats, back seats, room, trunk space. I mean, the interior, it was pretty well. A lot of room, good floor mats. I mean, if you're looking for like a decent interior riding car, it's definitely got that kind of modern sense to it. Instead of being in kind of that 94 to 04 kind of vibe, it kind of felt like you were riding in an old Fox body. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with Fox bodies or SN95s and New Edges. I love them to death as well. All I'm saying is I think that interior, if you don't do it right, and I know you could spruce up those interiors and make them really nice, and granted, a lot of people have, and I've seen them and look great, but I'm talking straight out of the factory. You know what they look like, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you want to compare this interior to a Coyote interior, if you're talking like 11 to 14 or 14 to current day, or I mean 15 to current day, you're talking a little bit more upgraded interior than this, obviously. But if you want to reiterate what you're saying from like the past years, this is definitely an upgrade for Ford. So if you're trying to find that middle ground between modern and kind of like price-wise, you don't want to exactly buy an 11 to 14 Coyote, which I definitely recommend. If you can find the way to find yourself to a Coyote, do it. Because trust me, I've tried. But if you're trying to find some middle ground, the 3-valve Mustang is definitely a bang for a buck. And it's a great starter car. Great starter V8, I should say. Other than that, I just want to say thank you guys for coming in and watching, you know, staying tuned to the end of this video like I always say. Thanks to my awesome girlfriend that helped me out. She sticks around with me while I do these videos and helps out a lot, and I couldn't ask for much more. And I couldn't ask for much more you guys joining me on these videos. Thank you so much.